My conference is bigger than yours, but aim is to cover topics that otherwise are not mentioned in textbooks, and you are always afraid to ask topics that are brought out in the open, and there can be an open debate. We like our conferences to be small, private, so that you can really ask questions and go back with knowledge. Dr. Kedar.
Thank you, Gautam. Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. I'd like to thank Gautam, Koral, Sulba, who are always doing a tremendous job organizing these conferences year by year, our international faculty sirs, and all of you who are present here in big numbers to attend this wonderful conference. Morning, Gautam told me, Kedar, why don't you speak about the conference scenario in Goa, in India, and give a national perspective to what happens. And I said, maybe I should speak a few words, and that's why I'm here before you. First of all, I'd like to welcome you to Goa. It's a land of peace, not just sun and sand. You'll find every Goan extremely peacefully placed. It's one of the places in Goa which has got the least of crime rates and highest happiness index, besides being most educated in literacy rates as well as per capita income. So I welcome you all to Goa. What I want to say about conferences is, once upon a time, if you go back in time when you were studying, Gautam, like I was in our MBBS days, there used to be one or two conferences. Conferences were like diamonds, very large ones, and not many. Even textbooks were rare. And then we went on to an era wherein between, say, 1985 and 95, there were about 20 odd conferences per year. We could make a choice on which one to go by and which not to go by. But in 1995 to 2005, there has been a huge metamorphosis. We hear about 30, 40 conferences which go on, and there's always a confusion in our minds what to attend, what not to attend. And now maybe over 100 conferences in India. Every third day there is some conference happening somewhere. There is village conference, city conference, stage conference, regional conference, zonal conference, national, international, what have you, isn't it? So it leaves you in a confused state of mind on what you want to attend. Like Gautam says, if it's a huge conference, it really doesn't make sense. There should be a small group which should be discussing, and these dimensions will tell you that, as your number of delegates increase to 7,000, the percentage of education or teaching that will happen is tremendously low, hardly 10%. And this is not my data. Dr. Nazareth from UK was speaking to us at Holiday Inn, just 1 kilometer from here, and he told us about what conferences do and what is the kind of knowledge that it dispenses. The logistics go haywire when it is 6,000 and 7,000, and when the number of delegates is lesser and smaller, you find that the education is more. The only thing that happens in these large conferences is a social interaction, and we really need to balance it out. So what did he give us? He told us that there was practically a database which told us that closed groups, 8 to 10, when they discuss together, the take-home message is always very good. When there are workshops, hands-on workshops like the vitrification workshop which Gautam very often carries out, gives excellent teaching experience. When conferences go higher, 100 to 300, there is an average teaching experience. But when the delegates go above 1,000, there is very little teaching at all. And we sometimes have conferences which have got over 5,000 delegates. There is hall A, B, C, D, E, and there's some lectures going on every 10 minutes with 2 minutes for discussion. And I don't know whether there is some teaching or grasping that happens at all. Most of the times it is show and display of egos. We as human beings treat human beings. And we have male and female. But what do? We have only the female to treat. And then when you go down further, some of us have drifted away. We don't even do obstetrics. We do only gynecology. And then we do only infertility. So we are going micro. And I'm sure in India last year there were about 40 conferences on just infertility as a factor. We go down further. We have conferences on tubal factors, laparoscopies, histoscopies, and what have you, cervical factors, IVF and ART. And now Gautam has come up with CARD. Just a small one. And it is so terribly important because the number of IVF clinics registered in India in another few months' time will be approximately close to 2,000. And the number of complications that happen are never expressed. They are generally put under the carpet. We only try to talk about success rates. And the success rates that we talk about in comparison are ones which are not communicated to the patient in comparison to the complications that happen. And I'm glad that we have come to a micro conference today, which will be telling us more about complications, making us aware how to avoid them, because when the patient is coming to you, the patient is hale and hearty, and she doesn't want to go out with a morbidity which can leave her maimed. There are a lot of researchers here, and I have a message to the researchers as well. Let me assure you that only 10 to 20% people do a huge amount of research, which is really the result of our products, and about 80% of research is manipulation of facts from here and there. So if you're going to do good research, please do not trust. Keep your mouth and eyes, keep your eyes and ears open and your mouth shut. Let there be no bias from any previous study, no pharma-driven thought, no rush to defeat a colleague. Avoid bias from your bosses. Observe without the thought of name, fame, gain or loss. Please tell the truth. And this research will make you the star. So here I am again at one more conference by Gautam Alabadia. We have always followed him everywhere that he goes. Whether it is Jaipur, it's Jodhpur, it's Goa, it's Varanasi, Khajuraho. And if I was going to miss it for some reason because there was some obstetrics patient which I was going to be delivering, then my wife would go alone and he would make sure that she was most comfortable. We would attend. Dr. Jayashree, who is here, has attended most of his conferences, and so have I, except missing out on one or two Gautam. And this is from last year we were attending. And what is the reason why we are compelled to attend Gautam's conferences? Because he has a commitment to teaching, to spread the right message. It's a small and tender group. It is hospitable, yet informative. He is not only involved in the treatment of patients, he takes up this conference with seriousness and passes on messages. He writes books and so on. And so, Gautam, it comes from our heart to your heart. In ART, there can be tremendous micro-manipulation that can happen, hidden costs, hidden statistics, improper data. Please go with your conscience, because we know that we are here to give, and only giving gives happiness, taking does not. And like Gautam said one shairi, I would like to say one too. This is Alexander the Great. You know, Alexander the Great conquered the world, but when he died, he went up to the heaven, his hands were empty. And there's a beautiful shairi about it, which says, Jamela char din ka tha, hawali the, mawali the. Sikandar jab upar gaya, to dono haath khali the. We're not going to take anything with us. It's important to give knowledge, give in terms of economics, give IVF light, and maybe one fine day we'll find the light that our couples seek in terms of babies. I thank you very much for your patience here.